Okay, in the next exercise, we're going to take this room here in this floor plan layout we're using and lay out some furniture in here. Now, the benefit of having a a folder of existing drawings that you produced in the past is to be able to access those drawings and reuse the drawings within those, repurpose the information within those files. In this case, reuse blocks. If there's a drawing that you produced in the past and you created blocks within it, you can reach into that drawing and pull out the blocks for use in a current project. And so in this case, we're going to open a file containing various blocks to use in this layout to uh, place furniture within this room. And so for that, we'll use the Design Center. If you flip here to the View tab, the Design Center is located right there. That little icon there is the Design Center. If I click on it, it launches the Design Center. If you're drafting, you sometimes if you type quickly, you can simply type the word Design Center, it's one word, and enter, and it launches the command immediately. If in the event you forgot where the icon was located, or an AutoCAD newer release, they moved the icon or relocated its position in the interface. Simply understanding the typing commands is very quick, and they rarely change. Here in the Design Center is basically a directory of files and folders, and I've opened up the week 8 folder. In fact, we're in week 9 folder, and here there's a file called Hotel Suite Blocks, which I provided. If you open up that file contains a variety of information here. One of the information um, areas that's available are blocks. So I can see the blocks that were produced in this file called Hotel Suite Blocks. Click on blocks. There they are. And so a variety of these blocks here will be used to create the layout of this hotel room. So simply choosing the item you'd like to use, for example, this bed here, clicking and hold the mouse without releasing your mouse, left button click, drag it to your screen and let it go. It places that object into your scene. Now, without caring so much about the placement of the objects, I'm basically going to go through and find some inventory in this block library that I'm going to use for my project. So I'll need a chair. So let's see. They have a chair here. There's a desk chair right there. Click and drag, drop it off. There's a television set. Again, this is in plan view. So there's a television set there. There's a luggage rack here. Drop it off. There is a table lamp here. Drop it off. There is a closet rack, and if they don't contain the closet rack, there's a closet rack right there. I found it. Use that, and there's a bifold doors. I'll use that as well. And obviously, if you cannot find the objects in this library, you have to open up another file that has those objects within them, or you have to draw it yourself. So here, I've gathered everything that they're suggesting, including this curtains with a valance. I'm gonna include that as well. And I think we're ready to go. I'm going to close this library, this design center. We go back to the home tab here, and let's start with the bed. If you want the bed to be in the center of the wall, then ideally you want to take the center or midpoint of the bed uh, uh, headboard basically and move it to the center of this wall. And so if I type M for move, I can click on that object, hit enter, and then search for the midpoint. Here it finds the midpoint, the little green triangle. If it cannot find the midpoint, then simply go into the O snaps here and choose the midpoint snap, or you can type the snaps in the middle of a command. Let's say you didn't include midpoint. You can actually type the first 3 letters of the O snap and it activates the O snap immediately and ignores all the other ones that are available while you're in the middle of a command. If I type MID, enter, it'll look for midpoints. But currently, my midpoint is active, so I can see it here. Click, it allows me to move it. And then here, if I drag my mouse along this line, it'll find the midpoint there. Click, and the bed is placed. Here, the lamps need to be on either side of these little end tables. Now, I don't know exactly where the center of that end table is. So honestly, what I'll do is I will draw a temporary object that I can use to center the lamp on. I will draw a line from this corner to this corner. Okay. And then I'll type move and I'll click on that object and hit enter. This is a circle. So circles have the center snaps. So I should be able to locate the center of this object. And if I hover along this curve here, a little green circle appears in the center of that lamp. You see it here. So by clicking on the object, AutoCAD recognizes it's a circle, and circles have centers. So if I click on it, it'll snap to the center of that circle. I take that and move it to here, to the midpoint of that table, click, and then hit escape. Erase this line, hit delete on your keyboard, and then simply copy it from corner to corner to put it in the exact same position, since both of these end tables are the same size. CO for copy, enter. Grab the object, enter. Grab this corner, move it to that corner. Escape, escape. There. You've got your furniture laid out here. The TV, again, if you care about centering the TV, you can, or you can eyeball it. Um, in this case, I'll draw a line from the center of this to the center of this, and then use that to snap the center of the TV. I'll use this object here, this line here of the TV, to center it on that line I just drew. Canvas remove, click, snap to the midpoint, and then here, find the midpoint there with a little triangle. Click. I then no longer need this line here. Delete. And so there you're on your way to producing this design here. Let's move this luggage rack over to here someplace. I need to turn off my ortho because it only moves it in right angles, and I need to move it over to here. So temporarily, I'm going to turn it off. It allows me to move this object here. Click, and then type RO for rotate. Enter. Click the object. Enter. Grab any point on the object and simply type 45 because the computer is asking for the rotation angle. I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees. Enter. And there it is. Move this chair from the middle of that edge of the chair to the middle of that line there. Click. Pretty easy. We've got the lamps. Move this object from the end of this line here into the closet area here by snapping on that corner there. It just so happens that that drawing fits perfectly the width of our closet, so we'll accept it. Otherwise, we'd have to revise it slightly. I'm going to move this object here. There's a curtain here with wavy lines, and then here we got a valance at the top of the curtains. I'm going to find the center line of that curtain here. And if it can't find it, because right now it's looking like it's looking for a perpendicular snap, I can type MID, enter, and it's looking now for the midpoint, which is actually down there. Click. So that's a good thing to have. I overwrote the options, and I only chose midpoint to search for. And that's what happened. Here, I will look for the midpoint there. It's green. Click. There, I put it in the right position. The center of that valance is in the center of the window. I then need to move it from this edge to the edge of the wall. So I type M for move, enter. Click on the object, enter. Pick a location to start with. Click on this point here as a base point and make it perpendicular to this line here. You notice here, it's looking for midpoints. It's looking for endpoints. I want perpendicular. And you can see if I move my mouse, it finds it there. And if it didn't find it, I can always type PR, enter, and it'll only look for perpendicular snap. Right now, I found it there. Click. That's been centered. Move this pair of doors here from this edge here, to the edge of the closet opening here. And luckily, they're exactly the same size, so I'll leave it at that. Here, we've completed the drafting. I'm going to confirm that by looking at the drawings here. Everything looks about right. We are done with the bedroom area of this hotel suite. Okay, let's move on.